So for those of you who are familiar with the Final Cut Pro 3-way color corrector, the way to get to that in Avid is obviously to be in our color correction tool set and to be in the HSL tab. Additionally, in HSL tab, we have controls and hue offsets. Hue offsets is what Avid calls the 3-way color corrector. You can see that you have shadows, midtones, and highlights. This image is a little blue. Let's take a look. Let's see if it's blue in the highlights by looking at the color of her helmet. If you look here, the strength of the blue channel is much stronger than the other two, so our highlights have to get a little bit warmed up. Let's take a look at blacks, maybe down here. Blacks are pretty much right on. They're a little blue, but not much as you slide around in there. Pretty good. And let's also check her shirt. This should be gray. I bought these jerseys for the shoot, so I happen to know these are perfect gray. And if you look at that, you can see that even in the grays, it's very blue in the grays. So in our midtones and in our highlights, we're going to have to pull some of the blue out, add some warmth. Basically, anytime you've got too much of something, like here, too much blue and green, you want to go the opposite direction to get that more balanced. So we have too much blue and green in the midtones. That's what I sampled last, was the midtones. So I'm going to take the center of this 3-way color corrector and pull it towards yellow-red until I think I've got something that looks good to my eye, and then I'll look at that, pretty much right on. 112, 111, 117. It's a little blue, but you don't want to go too far. So that's pretty good. And our highlights are also still too blue. You can see much stronger. And again, a little bit more blue than green, so I'm going to pull a little bit more straight up towards red until I feel like that helmet is looking pretty white. I'm going to say in there someplace, and we'll resample. Not too bad. Blue is still quite high. I don't want to go too far with it, or else it'll start looking funky. That's not bad. And if we look at the color correction that I've done on this, here's the before and after. There's before and after. A nice color correction. It's warmed that image up quite a bit. You can slide that all the way over. Check that out. Before and after. So that's basically how to use the hue offset wheels, which are analogous to Final Cut Pro's 3-way in Avid. And of course, once we've got this color correction made, I can save it by simply holding down the Option button and clicking on C2, and that saves that. I can also drag this correction up into the bin and save it that way.